Okay, well, hopefully I'm not cutting my head off in this video. So I just got back from a quick trip to Missouri, and I was escorting a friend back. I'd like to thank the TSA for making me feel like man meat. You know, it's it wasn't even consistent. You know, when I left here and I went through TSA, I went through the body scanner, and they said, "Oh, okay, hold on. There's something wrong. You're gonna have to allow us to put our hands on you." And they said, "There's one spot up here on your shoulder that says, we need to check." So, and the guy was fine. He says, "Hey, I'm gonna have to put a little bit of pressure on your shoulder. Do you have any injuries or anything like that?" I said, "No, I don't." And he says, "Okay." And he snaps on his gloves, and I feel like, oh my God, what kind of what kind of inspection is this, right? I've had one of these before at the doctor. Well, and so I moved my arm out like this, and he gave me a gentle massage on my shoulder, and just making sure that there was nothing planted subdermally, I guess. And because I was wearing like basically the same kind of shirt I am right now, so I mean it's not like I was trying to hide anything. And so he did a gentle check around my shoulder, and he determined that I was safe to get on an airplane, and so I did. And then I went through another airport, and that was fine. No additional security because I'd already been checked out, right? And the cat is molesting the tripod, so hopefully it doesn't knock it over. Hey, kitty, come here. So I got to my destination, and it was a very short trip, and I packed very lightly, and half the time I was just sitting there. So I didn't really bring much of a change of clothes. It was just one day over and coming back the next day. I figured I can put up with that. And so I'm wearing the exact same thing. And when I checked back into the St. Louis airport, same thing. Put everything that you own, including your belt. I know that's usually used to hold up your pants, but we don't care about that right now. So just hold up your pants while you're standing in line. So put your belt and your shoes and your everything in your pockets in the basket, and then they send it through a machine. And then so I step into a machine that looked exactly like the one that I started off with, the body scanning machine. It says, "Put your feet on the yellow footprints. Put your hands up like a felon." And then the machine goes, and then it determines if you're safe, right? But this time, wearing the exact same clothes, so at least there's some continuity here, right? And wearing the exact same clothes, less than 24 hours later, now it was that my neckline, my waistline, my crotch, and my legs were now needing to be searched. Now, I don't have any problem with people who are homosexual. I mean that's their choice, right? Or it's their way of being, and that's okay because it's already a big enough job being me. I don't want to control anybody else. But I'm not to sound conceited, but I am kind of confident that because I've had friends express it to me that I'm an attractive guy. I'm decent to look at, and I take care of myself, right? Well, this guy, he's quick to snap on his gloves and come over and say, "Well, I'm gonna have to touch you." And I was like, "Where?" He says, "Well, pretty much all over. Your neckline, your belt line, and your pelvic region." And he looked a little too happy to do this. And I was like, I said, how many terrorists have you guys actually caught? With all of this security measures, I said, how many terrorists have you caught, and how many human rights have you violated? And he started to look like he was getting mad that I was questioning his authority. And I was like, look, I said, I've got a plane to catch. Let's just get this over with. I said, it's like a rape victim. If you're not gonna kill me, if you're just gonna rape me, you might as well just get it over with so we can carry on. Because if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. I got to get on the plane. I got to get back. I got responsibilities to take care of. So like a felon, I've never been in jail. I've never been, like, no charges have ever been brought upon me because I don't harm other people. I don't I believe in free will, right? I initiate violence upon no one. I believe that the only legitimate use of violence or coercion or whatever against another person is if they've created a victim, or if you're in the act of self-defense, right? So I put my legs out, put my arms out, and he checks out my neck, and then he checks out my belt line, and then he's like, okay, can you go ahead and hold up your pants so that way while I'm checking you, your pants won't fall down. And I was like, alright, yeah, so I grab onto the corner of my pants, and he comes up and he's massaging, and he touched my dick at least 4 times. I was like, holy shit. I'm like, this is absolutely bullshit that somebody with such an infatuation about men, and it was pretty obvious. I mean, it was, short of him handing me his gay card or his homosexual card, it was pretty evident that was his preference, right? So it was almost like he was enjoying his job a little bit too much, And this is like the most violated I think I've felt in a long time, and what I felt most bad about though is the little kids that were behind me in line. Take off your shoes, take off this, let us touch you all over the place. And these little kids are like, oh my God, is this normal? Yeah, welcome to Earth, it's the prison planet. Yeah, welcome to Earth. Yeah, even my friend, she's an attractive younger woman that she even says, she's like, holy shit, Rob, I was thinking I want to play TSA with you. I laughed. She wasn't laughing. We're living in a world where we're punishing the many for the actions of the few. And we're talking about a very few number of people who are actually willing to initiate violence against other people. And those people that are willing to initiate violence against other people, we're not even punishing them appropriately or correcting them, or I know of 2 young ladies that were being molested. I didn't know that they were being molested until later, but from their age of 18 up until like 16, 17, their stepdad, their mom's boyfriend, he was trying to be boyfriend to the whole family. Right? These little girls, they didn't want to say anything because, as her mom had expressed several times, we need his income to be able to have our house and have the things that we have, and we have this and this and this, and no, you know what? He would never hurt you guys, So you just need to get a grip on yourself. Basically, I don't know if that was the exact words. They didn't feel comfortable coming to their mom. They didn't feel comfortable coming to their families. And it was only once one of them was 16 years old, and she confided in her friend that she was going to kill herself. 8 years of abuse. Not being able to be the innocent young girl that she really is. Finally took its toll. And so she confided in her friend that she's going to kill herself. her friend went to her mom. Not the girl's mom who's enabling that kind of behavior, but the girl's mom. And her girl's mom, she says, you know what, we're gonna do what we can do, because if we don't, we would have regrets. So they went to the police, and the police, they went and arrested him. They put him in jail until the trial, and then but the mom of the young girls convinced the girls that they didn't need to testify, because that would just be too hard on them, right? That would be too hard on you guys to watch justice happen to a perpetrator. It's not the word she used, right? And so the girls didn't testify. And the guy served 1 year in jail. And then he was let out with the title, likely to reoffend. But they moved him 80 miles away from here, because that's so much safer. There's no such thing of cars or walking, So they moved him 80 miles away, as long as he was willing to pay the monitoring fees, of course, because that's what the state's mostly about, is collecting money. It's about revenue generation. It's not about safety preservation. So he served less than 1 year, or right at 1 year, and now he's out. He's a free man. And he pays the state, I don't know, $100 or $200 a month for a monitoring fee. And maybe he's on this piece of paper called probation or parole or something. I don't know. The thing is, it was the same machine and the same organization that checked me twice, right? Once, only mildly a problem, something in my shoulder that I don't have any implants. There's no metal inside my body other than whatever's being sprayed in the air and inhaled into my body, or environmental contaminants. No surgeries. No. Nothing I could take out of my body and take down an airliner or something, or take on another person with, right? Our system isn't working. We have a lot of people following laws that are immoral. Back in just 100 years ago, people were following laws that were immoral. They wouldn't do it if it was a choice they're based on doing it out of their heart, but they're doing it because it was legal. I think we need to focus more on humanity than legality. We're putting people in cages who haven't harmed anybody. You broke a rule. Somebody somewhere had a ritual, and somebody else and a bunch of their friends, they said, I. And so it became law. And even though it's not aligned with humanity, it was aligned with the economy, or it was aligned with control. It's rumored that you can't go and spend 1 day doing the things that you like to do without breaking a law. I might be breaking a law right now. Who knows? I don't know. I'm growing my own food, and it fucking tastes delicious. Right from the vine. Right from the vine, I make it mine. I gather from the source rather than the stores. No chemicals. Sometimes I even find like big worms on here. They're huge. They're like this big. Hopefully we can find one really quickly, right? And he doesn't eat everything. Obviously there's so many little tomatoes here. But because he eats some of it, if this food was bought from the store, they would have put poisons on the plant, so that way when that little animal eats the poison, or he's not even going to be inclined to eat it because it's poisonous, right? he dies, or he would die. There's a natural intelligence in an animal that can't be advertised to. You know, like this little tomato right here. Let's see if you can see this. It's got a blemish, right? This isn't. Look. There's a little bug even that came off on me, right? Because I picked this, right? This wouldn't go to the store because it's not good enough. People would complain. It still tastes just fine. And look, I even just ate the blemish. I'm not dead. And I don't plan on dying for a while. Right? We gotta stop recognizing what we've been advertised and what makes sense. Okay? Because nature is what happens naturally, and it's how we thrive. It's how we find thrival, not just survival. We're living in an unnatural environment with unnatural laws, where man is trying to control other man and woman, right? We're all the same. The only gender difference is your choice of who you wish to engage in sexual activity with, or our roles in procreation. You know, I don't care if it's a woman president or a man president or a black president or a Asian president, Asian descent president, or a white guy or a black or a or a red man or that's what color. It's so crazy. I'm black. Did you know that? I'm black right here and right here and down here on my legs, and I'm blue when I get bruised. And I'm green when I get sick. I haven't been sick in a long time. I eat healthy food, right? But if I stay out in the sun too long, I turn red. I turn maybe really white if I get really scared, or if I stay inside for years, without going to see the sun. I'm kind of brown, you know. I'm actually browner than my daughter. My daughter has half of her genetics is of Spanish, or from Mexico. There's a lot of things that we should change, and it begins with ourselves. I had to do a lot of changing in myself. I didn't used to be as calm and as peaceful. I suffered from my environment. My environment had shaped me in ways that weren't working out well. It promoted stress, anger, sometimes even hate. And that's wrong. But sometimes we just don't even know what we don't know until we know it, So that's why I've begun to teach yoga and meditation and permaculture. I've been active in my community, and not in a way that I'm making a lot of money, but in a way that I am making a lot of change. I used to be a plumbing contractor, and I was making a good living, but I wasn't happy myself. But now I'm helping people. I do it for free. I accept free will love offerings when they're inspired to do so. But we can change ourselves. We can't change the world. But when we change ourselves individually, and we each do our job by changing ourselves, because it's a big enough job being me, then we build a world that we're all gonna like a whole lot more. So anyway, to the Ginga at the TSA, thanks for making me feel molested and inspiring me to talk this morning on ways that we should be initiating change in the world. Thanks, guys. Free Will channel on YouTube. Like, subscribe, share it. If you like my content, let's let it grow. That's where we benefit in life, is when we find something that is good, we help it expand. We're not empowering the problems that way, we're empowering the solutions, right? All right, thanks. Bye.